Imagine this. Armed forces right in the heart of our nation's capital, all thanks to a presidential decree. But here's where it's controversial. The National Guard has been summoned to the National Mall, not to fight an enemy, but to tackle what President Donald Trump deems as out-of-control crime in Washington, D.C. Let's dive in and explore the whys and hows of this unprecedented move. On a seemingly ordinary Tuesday, the Washington Monument saw an unusual sight. National Guard troops, activated by President Trump, standing at its base. This wasn't a drill or a parade. It was a clear display of the president's determination to address the crime situation in the Capitol. But what exactly does this deployment entail, and why is it sparking so much debate? Let's break it down. Colonel Dave Butler, an Army spokesperson, shed some light on the troops' mission. They're there to lend a hand to local law enforcement, handling logistics, transportation, and administrative tasks. But that's not all. Their mere presence around the National Mall is a statement in itself. That's part of our assignment, to go to the national monuments and be present, Butler told ABC News. But here's the thing. The National Mall, with its museums, monuments, and vast green spaces, is generally considered one of the safer areas in the city, attracting mostly tourists and school groups. So why the need for military presence? Now let's talk legality. The deployment of troops on U.S. soil is indeed legal, to an extent. The president has the power to mobilize service members in times of extraordinary crisis. But here's where it gets tricky. Their duties are limited to protecting federal personnel and property. Unless, of course, the president declares an insurrection, which as of now, he hasn't. And this is the part most people miss. The troops are expected to have access to weapons, but they won't be carrying them. It's all about being visible, about making a statement. Trump has been vocal about his concerns regarding crime in D.C. On Monday, he held a press conference announcing that he would take control of the Washington, D.C. Police Department and activate troops from the D.C. National Guard. Something's out of control, he said, referring to D.C. crime. But we're going to put it in control very quickly, like we did in the southern border. He even went as far as to declare it Liberation Day in D.C. But is this really the best way to tackle crime? That's a question that's sure to spark some heated debates. Officials reported that 100 Guard troops were on duty on Tuesday, with more expected throughout the week. But here's an interesting tidbit. Trump's control of the D.C. police force expires in 30 days. After that, it's up to Congress to decide what happens next. But what do you think? Is this the right move, or is it a power play that goes too far? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Earlier on Tuesday, an Army spokesperson mentioned that the Guard troops hadn't been given a specific mission yet, other than to support law enforcement. They expected to need the rest of the week to mobilize the 800 troops before deploying them next week. But what exactly will their mission be? That's a question that's yet to be answered. Like all service members serving in the U.S., the Guard will follow the standing rules for the use of force. This means they have the right to self-defense, but they're also trained to use de-escalation techniques to minimize the use of force. But here's a thought. Should military personnel be involved in law enforcement at all? It's a question that's sure to spark some lively discussions. Appearing on Fox News on Monday, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the activated Guard troops would have broad latitude under existing authorities. But he also made it clear, they're not going to be involved in law enforcement functions. So what exactly will their role be? That's a question that's yet to be answered. But one thing's for sure, this deployment is a bold move that's sure to spark some serious conversations. So what do you think? Is this the right move, or is it a step too far? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And remember, this is a complex issue with no easy answers. But that's what makes it so fascinating, right? The fact that it gets us thinking, debating, and discussing. So let's dive in and explore this topic together. After all, that's what makes us human. Our ability to question, to challenge, and to grow. So let's get this conversation started. What do you think about this unprecedented move? Let us know in the comments. And remember, there are no wrong answers. It's all about the discussion, the debate, and the exchange of ideas. So, let's get this party started.